I am so exhausted. Pregnancy is seriously no joke. Welcome back to my channel, the Bronson Sky Library. Today I'm going to go over 5 fantasy romance / romantasy books that I want to get to in the year of 2026. And I'm going to be doing this video this month because it's the month of love. I mean, Valentine's Day is this month. Even though I'm probably not going to get to any of these books this month. Actually, yeah, I don't think I'll get to any of these books this month. But I wanted to do this video because of February. And yeah, I am reading a romance book this year though. I'm reading The Blue Castle, or this month, not this year. I'm reading The Blue Castle by L.M. Montgomery this month as a buddy read. So I am reading a romance, just not any of these. But I do want to do this video. So anyway, I guess we'll just get started with the books. Okay, so the first book that I want to get to, the first fantasy romance / romantasy, I don't know which one is which because there's so much discourse about like which one is which one is like the fantasy romance and which one is romantasy. There's so much discourse and I've seen reasons for both sides. So I don't know. I'm just gonna say it's fantasy romance and romantasy. So anyway, the first book is Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. I read Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross, and I loved those books. And this book takes place in that same universe. In Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows, it follows humans during the war between a god and a goddess. And then this one takes place again in that same universe, but it follows the gods and goddesses within that universe. Not the ones in Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows, I think different ones, but it's within that universe. And I'm really excited to get to this because I loved Divine Rivals. And I love short fantasy romance / romantasy books. I love when they're either a duology or a standalone. I absolutely adore them. I think, honestly, they're better than series, in my personal opinion. But I'm really excited to get to this one, and I want to get to it soon. I've been hearing really good things about it. So, and then the next book that I want to hopefully get to this year is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I know who the authors are. I just get tongue-tied when I do videos. So this is one where I heard Elliot Brooks talk about, and I think she liked this one quite a bit. And honestly, Elliot Brooks and I have pretty much the same taste in books, at least in fantasy books. And so I thought, you know, if she liked it, I probably will like it too. I know that it deals with vampires. That's cool. I'm excited. I haven't actually really gone into vampire books. I never read Twilight. I do like vampire shows, so I think I'd like this. I am not sure exactly what it's about, but I hear that it kind of has like this Hunger Games vibes, but with like vampires. So that's very intriguing. And I hear her writing is really good. So I'm excited to read this one. Okay, so the third book that I want to get to this year is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. So I've had this book on my shelf for a while now. And I want to get to it sooner rather than later. I bought this when I first started my Bookstagram account, and that was like 6 years ago. So it's been on my shelf for a while. And I'm in a mood to get to the books that are on my shelves. So all of these books are on my like physical TBR. I'm not buying any books this year. If I do want to read a book that's not on my shelf, I'll just go to the library for it. But yeah, I am trying to read books on my shelves. And this one has been on my shelf for so long that I want to get to it. And also, it sounds very interesting to me because it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I do like fairy tale retellings. I mean, one of my favorite books is The Goose Girl by Shannon Hale. I think this one is just kind of right up my alley. And I do like YA. I'm not someone who has to stick to adult. I read from every age range, from adult, YA, and middle grade, so I feel like I would like this one a lot. And then the fourth fantasy romance book that I want to get to in this year is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I think this one is a fantasy romance slash romantasy. I also don't know what this one is about. I just know that I really like the cover. I think it looks cool and I like the title, and I've heard like mixed things with this one, but I have heard some really good things too. So I feel like I would enjoy it. Not sure. I'm a little hesitant on it because of some people that I do respect their reviews. They didn't like it, but you never know. All right, and then the last book that I want to get to this year is not a first book in a series or a standalone, but it is the second in a duology, and that would be Muse of Nightmares. I read Strange the Dreamer maybe 2 years ago, a year and a half, and I haven't gone to this, and I don't know why. I do not know why I haven't read the second book. I had the second book when I had the first book, and so I could have easily just finished the first book, set it down, and picked this one up immediately after, but I didn't do it. Why? I don't know, because I'm stupid. I genuinely don't know why I haven't done it. I really don't, because I loved Strange the Dreamer. Strange the Dreamer is so good. I love Laszlo, I love Sarai, I love their relationship, and it's very pure and innocent to me, and I love pure, innocent romances. I think they're adorable and so cute and so much more interesting than the hot and bothered steamy ones. I love it. And the prose, Laini Taylor's prose is so damn good. Laini Taylor just has a beautiful way of writing. Her writing is just beautiful, okay? So I really need to get to this one, and I want to get to it sooner rather than later, because I think I've pushed this book off for too long. Like, I genuinely don't know why I haven't read it. Call me dumb, because I am dumb. I'm not smart. I'm not smart with the choices I make. I'm not smart in anything. Anyway, yeah, this is the last book that I want to get to. In the year of 2026, the fantasy romance books that I want to get to. And also, all of these books, again, I think I mentioned this earlier, all of these books are on my physical TBR list, and I have a list. I finally wrote down all of my books that I have physically on a document, and I have just been clicking off the boxes every time I read a book off of my physical TBR. And it's been so satisfying, even though I've only done it twice, because I've only read 2 books so far this year. It's the first time I've ever done this. I've never written down my physical books. And so writing down my physical books for the first time ever and then marking them off is so satisfying. And all 5 of these are on my physical TBR list. So it's going to be so satisfying when I read these and then get to mark it off my list. I'm just really excited for that. So yeah, these are some of the books that I am going to read this year. Again, I am reading a romance this year. It's not this month. It's not a fantasy. It's just, it's a classic. It's the same author who wrote Anne of Green Gables. So yeah, I'm reading The Blue Castle right now. I'm going to read this year, I keep saying this year, this month, I'm also going to read another book, The Doll Makers by Lynn Buchanan. That is a buddy read The Blue Castle is also a buddy read. And then hopefully I will get to Legend Born, because it is Black History Month, and that book is written by a Black author. So I want to read books by Black authors, but then again, I don't read a lot within the month, so hopefully I can get to all 3 of these books, but we'll see. Anyway, so that's my video for today, short and simple. If any of you guys have read these, please let me know. Let me know your thoughts and all of that in the comments below. If you guys want to subscribe, please subscribe. If you want to like the video, that would be great. If you want to check out my social medias, I have those. I have a Bookstagram account. I have a Letterboxd if you like movies and want to see my reviews of movies. You can check that out. I have a Fable if you want to check out my Fable. I have a Discord. If you want to be on my Discord, you can go to my Discord. I think there's only 3 members and I'm one of them. And the other one is my husband. So yeah, if you want to check that out, you can check that out. I'm still learning Discord. but I would love to start using Discord a lot more and maybe doing buddy reads slash like book club kind of things through Discord. I think that would be a lot of fun. Anyway, if you guys want to check that out, link in the description or my bio. So if you want to do that, you don't have to. But anyway, I will see you guys in my next video. All right, bye. Also, I just want to say, the second that I stop recording, the cats decide to be like, oh, I'm gonna settle down now. The hell is that all about? Like, you make a ruckus the whole entire video, and now you're just like, oh, you're done, so I'm gonna sleep now. I'm gonna stare out the window and either nod off or just stare at the neighbors. Like, couldn't you do that while I was filming? Gosh darn, cats. Gosh darn it.